Hey, best friends.
Welcome to the Bestie Advice Podcast. Where we discuss all things relationships. Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Bestie Advice. Hey, bestie.
Hey, y'all.
This is a special edition of the Bestie Advice. On tonight, we will be reviewing the new show on BET Plus called Kingdom Business. Y'all hear that, y'all? BET Plus, Kingdom Business. And we have two special guests with myself, Kiran Hayes and Irene Abrams. Along with us, we have my sister, Stefanie Jones.
Hey, Stephanie.
And our good friend, Tjuana Porter.
Welcome back, girl.
Y'all want to say hey to the besties out there?
Hey, besties.
Hey, y'all.
Yes, y'all. So I don't know how many of you all have actually watched Kingdom Business. I'm just going to read that right there. I don't know how many of you all have watched Kingdom Business. However, we want to discuss it on tonight. There were a whole lot of things that have actually happened on this particular episode. But before we get into that, Irene is going to give us just a little bit of overview and background on how the story was created, some of the producers, and things of that sort. Come on, Irene, let the people know.
Let the people know. Yes. Well, I definitely want to thank Tjuana and Stefanie for being our special guests. They'll be with us while we are reviewing the entire season of Kingdom Business. So I'm very excited about that. But I wanted to find out, kind of why they decided to do this show, who was behind it. Most of you probably don't know this, but I was a film major. My undergrad degree. So I'm very much into movies and films and things of that nature. And so I found out that this was actually produced by Devon Franklin, Holly Carter, and Kirk Franklin, of course. And, they came together. They wanted to do a show. Of course, they're calling it a drama. I think it has elements of realness of what really goes on behind the scenes in gospel music. And mega ministries as well. However, they wanted to do something that was a drama around the music industry as well as the African American church. Now, this show was greenlit back in 2019. And so they've been working on this show since then. And so now we get to see it. And I actually thought the show was coming on week to week, but Kiran let me know that the whole season is out actually.
Yes.
And so a lot of celebrities wanted to be in this. They signed on to be in this. I'm going to reserve comments to our special guests. But I think it's important, no matter how we feel about the show, what we say about the production quality and acting and such, I do think it's important to have Black producers, Black directors, Black writers, Black actors. And so for that, I will support the show. I will watch the show. I think that these kind of shows opens the door for people to come behind them. So I was excited to see that it was, the entire production cast, the entire writing staff, as well as the directing staff are all African Americans. So I'm very proud of that. And I'm happy that the show has come to fruition. So please, if you haven't started watching it, please watch it. As Kiran said, it's on BET Plus. And so, I think you have to subscribe to that. I have so many subscription channels. I think I have it on, I think I'm watching it on Infinity, but it's BET Plus. So, and I know you can catch like a few of the episodes on YouTube if you're not watching it, but please support the show because we want the numbers and the Nielsen ratings to be high. So they will possibly either greenlight it for a second season or these actors can get bigger and better roles. And so I just wanted to kind of start out saying that before we kind of get into our thoughts about the episode. So, and we're reviewing episode 1 tonight.
Yes.
So back over to you, Kiran. I'm so curious about what Stefanie and Tjuana has to say about.
I know. And also, you all who have never subscribed to BET Plus, they do have a special now, for first time subscribers. I believe it's like a free 7-day trial. So you can go in there and maybe watch an episode. I would not say, I don't suggest this because I do believe in supporting Black businesses, supporting Black TV stations. Please, at least 1 month. It's $9.99, y'all. It's just $10. Just go in there, pay the $10 or whatever. Take your time. Watch all 8 episodes. It's actually 8 that are out there. Watch all 8 episodes. Or even if you want, do the 7-day trial. Still pay the $9.99 after that. Then you can cancel it. And it's plenty of other shows out there on BET Plus. I know First Wives Club is out there.
Yes.
Sisters, which is a Tyler Perry show. I think you can catch that on there. Brothers, which is another Tyler Perry show. And I'm sure an assortment of other movies. So please not only support this particular TV show, but just support BET Plus.
Absolutely.
All right. Let's go ahead and get into this time. So the name of this episode was called One Moment from Glory. One Moment from Glory. That's the actual name. And
I think it was a play on Yolanda Adams' first.
Exactly.
So it was a play on, it was a theme throughout the episode. With, I don't want to talk about the episode, but it was definitely a theme, which is why it was named that. And so
yeah. So Stefanie, Tjuana, like, what were your first impressions of this TV show? Either one of y'all.
Tjuana, you want to go first? Well, my very very first thought was, I need to watch this again, because I needed to go back and like kind of, I'm like, it was so much that happened. It was jumping from one thing to one thing to one thing. And I was like, I gotta go watch this again so I can kind of follow what all just happened.
Yes.
It was definitely different than what I thought based off of the trailer.
It was.
When we first saw the trailer, I was thinking that it was going to be, I guess my first impression was like, it's going to be kind of similar to Greenleaf a little bit. That was my first thought. Then when I started watching it, I was like, it's like a little step below Greenleaf. It's like Greenleaf's cousin, second cousin. That's what I was saying. So it wasn't terrible. It wasn't bad. There's definitely some truth in it.
Yeah.
But I just felt like I had to watch it again to kind of, to start. I had to watch it twice to kind of connect the dots.
Yeah. What about you, Steph?
Yeah. My first thoughts kicked in before I watched it. When I saw the trailer, it looks like Greenleaf meets P-Valley. Like, that's what I thought it was going to be. And then I began to watch it. And as Tjuana said, it is no Greenleaf, but it is a show that makes you want to watch the next episode. Yeah. Whether or not you thought the episode was good, you do want to see what happens next. I think it can improve, like there is room for improvement. So that is a great thing by not being top tier. They can get there. But right now, I think they're still working on it. Season 2, they'll have it. But season 1, not yet.
Yeah.
Because I think it's like it opens up, they're in church. Yolanda Adams' character, Danita, Michael Beach, I think he's Bishop Calvin, their son and daughter, both their son and daughter are in ministry. The daughter, who does not have not one speaking part in the first episode. The daughter, she's the minister of music. The son, he's like over, because they own like a record label, right? Kingdom Records. Kingdom Records or whatever. So Yolanda is, singing for real. Yolanda is getting it. Then it's like it just flipped. And we at the strip club. And they clapping behinds, they clapping booties or whatever. And I said, what just happened? Really? It
they're showing how the two lives are about to collide. So okay, it's gonna be a tale of two stories.
Yes.
The different tracks. So you're gonna see how Yolanda's fall from grace, and I can't think of her character's name, but her name is Soraya.
Rebel.
You're gonna see her, stepping into her own, right?
Yeah.
So I did want to talk about the people that are in the main character. So we mentioned Yolanda Adams. She's probably the most notable when it comes to gospel music.
Yeah.
I mean, she's won everything, truly, like Stellars, Grammys. For a while, I thought her and Donnie Clark were like, they the face of gospel music. It was Donnie, Yolanda, and Kirk Franklin. I was
they got gospel
singers, right? But Yolanda is an amazing singer, so she's really the star. And then Soraya McNeil, we know her, you guys, from Empire. If you watched Empire, she was on there as well. And then Michael Jai White, he's on there, and then Michael Beach. And I would say those four are the most recognizable actors. Michael Beach was in Soul Food, a lot of things. Michael Jai White was in
Mike Tyson. That was the first one. The first one was Mike Tyson.
Right. But he's in like Why Did I Get Married and things like that. So those are the most notable actors. I wouldn't say that they're like the A-listers. I would
more like C plus.
C. Yeah, C. We'll go with C list. And I agree with
you. You ain't gonna even put the plus on it, Irene?
Yes. Okay. C plus. Well, and that's only because Yolanda Adams is singing, and Soraya, she can sing really good too. She can sing really well. I think that, and this probably too, just in all fairness, is probably filmed in the middle of the pandemic. A lot of things could have been going on, and so I'm thinking by the end that we'll think maybe the acting and hopefully the storyline and things will be more cohesive. I felt like there was a lot of cliches in there. However, one of the things that I noticed that you guys mentioned Greenleaf, and there are some other shows. I know I'm gonna age myself. But what happened to like the good Christian shows like Amen? Like I'm just trying to figure it out. What happened to Amen, where it was like fun, church was light.
With Amen.
Now,
what did you say?
No, I was saying with Amen though, that was like old school where everything was swept under the rug. Now,
right, everything was swept under the rug. True. It was swept. You're right with the deacon and all that. But what I was trying to say was like, in this episode, in this one, and I know things will change.
Yeah.
As much as we love Yolanda Adams, we hated her because it was like she was up there getting her glory, but she was really the true victim. Exactly. Then they showed this stripper who's supposed to be, she's a stripper, but she had the purest soul, and I'm just looking like, it doesn't show Christians in a very good light.
Yeah. Like Greenleaf, like Saints and Sinners.
It shows us as manipulative. We're going to do anything to get on top. And, but at the same time, thinking about it, and just getting too deep, Christ was always with the people that weren't accepted.
Yeah.
Because these people, and I'm watching this show and I'm like, here we go again. Like with Greenleaf, it's like I cringe every time the pastor comes on. And I think you said it, Kiram. He came in drinking his liquor. I'm like, really? So you come in the house with your scotch and your brandy.
Right. And then the first lady being all holier than thou. It's like, come on, y'all. Like, y'all, this is the light that we're going to put again, it goes back to Greenleaf. That first lady on there, you wanted to slap her or shake her, like, for real, get off of your high horse. And that's exactly how they're portraying Yolanda Adams. But like, the stripper? Oh, no. It's like, oh God, here we go.
So what did you guys think about the first storyline? Like, what do you think about this first episode, the storyline?
So knowing, you mentioned two names. You mentioned Devon Franklin and Kirk Franklin. I don't know how much, like, I'm not a film major like you, but just standing, just kind of looking at it, like Kirk Franklin, pretty much his testimony is well known, right? We know the things he's been through. And then Devon Franklin stuff just kind of came out with the divorce and all that type of stuff. So I started thinking like, okay, you know, maybe they were trying to paint the picture that, you know, we're not perfect. We've been through things as Christians or whatever. And then, you know, going back to that's, you know, the church part of it. But the story with the other girl is like, she was truly, you know, the realist as far as this is my life. This is who I am, you know. And at the end, people saw her heart more than, you know, the people that was supposed to be in the church or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So that started to make sense to me later. But at the beginning, I didn't get that. I was like, well, how did it go for me? Like, why would, you know, or whatever.
To leave it at that, like y'all not gonna go talk about this anymore.
Right.
You're not gonna tell me more. Yolanda Adams made reference to Taj's girlfriend's age, and I was like, I thought they were the same age. Like, what happened? How old is she? So it was a lot of things mentioned that they never concluded. And like I said, it may have been done on purpose. Yeah. But I missed the next scene because I was trying to figure out, like, did I miss something? Because you didn't tell me. So I don't really think it was very smooth. But going back to what Tjuana said about Devon Franklin and Kirk Franklin, and then just overall church storylines, I would like to see church storylines from the view of somebody who likes church. Because I almost feel like a lot of these storylines are from people that are still within their church hurt. Like they have not made it to a place of healing or resolve of some sort. So they're painting it as the view of this is how all church people are. And I think it's a bad representation for people who don't know church or God for themselves, that they watch these shows and the first thing that they'll say is, see, I told you that's how church people are.
Exactly.
But
that was my issue.
It is not a representation, I feel, of the real church. Or at least church people that I have experienced. So I would like Irene said, cross between Amen and Greenleaf. Like let's get the real, you know, stuff, but also the good parts of church.
Yeah, and even with the whole church hurt thing, it was actually a scene in there. I'm assuming that this lady, they never really said what her role was, but Rebel was actually talking to her after Danielle was killed. And I don't know if this lady was maybe like their foster mother or whatever. Y'all remember that scene where they were sitting on the porch? She was talking to this lady or whatever. And that lady said, church hurt is the worst hurt.
It is.
So my question is, why do people ponder on being hurt in church, but they talk about you at your job, you don't quit it?
I'm gonna tell you why though, because church.
Help me with that. Help me.
I'm you know I know this. So I'm gonna tell you, because church is supposed to be, in my mind, the way I thought, was one of the safest places you can go. Right? I expect the people on my job, because not everybody on my job goes to church, right? So in my mind, the people at the church are supposed to have a totally different mindset, because, you know, I grew up in a Baptist church, so it's me, right? That's you know, it's God, it's Christ. So everybody in there is supposed to be a follower of Christ. We're in these four walls together, same goal, all of that. The job, you got people coming from, they're Catholic, they're this, they're atheists, everybody. So I don't expect it from my job, right? But I expect it from this safe place, right? And I think when you expect the expectation there, and when you go there and you experience hurt from a place that is your safety net, that's huge, right?
Yeah.
That's yeah. I'll just leave it there. So that's why church versus
I do want to say, just piggybacking off what you just said, Tjuana, and just kind of adding on it. The thing is that when we come to church, you know, we come to be healed and restored and delivered and made whole, because we've been beat up all week, you know, from life. And so to come to a place that is supposed to be your refuge, and people are just as evil, you know, as what you dealt with all week, is very, very hard, you know, and because your guard is let down even more at church. You're vulnerable. I know all four of us have probably cried buckets of tears at church. You know, we probably fell out, got hands laid, you know, a lot of things have happened, and you're at your most vulnerable. And so to be hurt at that place, that's a deep cut. You know what I'm saying? It's a deeper cut. So I agree with you too, Stephanie. Like, let's see some good things. But I want to add one more thing too. I work for a ministry, and so sometimes, and this is the hard thing about it, the behind the scenes can be ugly, and I don't like it, you know, but I know that it's reality. You know, working in I work for a mega ministry, a mega church. And so what people see on Sunday, what people see in class, what people see wherever, you know, however they come in those doors, you're just seeing after the blood and sweat and tears and the hard work, and you're enjoying the fruit of what people have dealt with in the back room. And sometimes it's not pretty. It can be pretty ugly.
Exactly.
Yeah, I view church like a hospital. You know, the hospital, the building of the hospital is supposed to be a place of, you know, healing. You're supposed to come there when you're sick, but the actual people that are in the hospital are not healed, because they wouldn't be at the hospital if they weren't sick. So I view the church the same way, that the building and the institution of the church is a place of healing and safety. But the reality is the people in the church aren't healed, and the people in the church aren't always safe, because that is what they're there to get. So I do think this show kind of highlighted that, you know, the institution should be one way, but the actual people there aren't that way. But if we can highlight some of the people who are healed in there, you know, like the lady that had the hat on, you know, somebody else in the church, I think, is a good person. My critique is that it typically highlights most these shows those people that we don't want highlighted in the church. It doesn't highlight the good people.
And I agree with, you know, with everybody. But I guess when it does come to this whole church hurt, you know, thing, sometimes I feel that it really is a trick of the enemy. I'm just gonna be honest. It's a trick of the enemy. The people that are at the church, they're human. Whether it's the pastor, the first lady, the deacon, the usher board member, the lay member, the choir member, whoever. Everybody is human. We all make mistakes. Every morning we wake up, we're not saying thank you, Jesus, hallelujah. Ooh, I love you, and you're getting everything right. None of us are getting everything right. We have all sinned and come short of the glory of God. We are still in the healing position. We are still being anointed. We are still receiving his mercy and his grace every single day. But I believe that because it is the church, the place where you're supposed to get healed, it's like any little thing that sets you off, it's like, I'm out. And that's exactly what the enemy wants. And it's funny because, not trying to make this deep, but my husband just said this today. It's like, you know, you're in church, you know, you get hurt. He said the people that are really in it for the right reasons, as far as the people who are like, you know what, it don't make a difference what's going on, I'm coming back, are the ones that after you get hurt, after you get rebuked, you come back. Because some of that church hurt too is rebuke.
Yeah, I think it's the variety of it.
Yes. Some of it is rebuke, it's correction, and it's like, you can't talk to me like that. How you gonna say that to me? Your feelings was hurt, and it's like, I'm out, I'm gone. But it's like the person that, because again, some of it does come from the past. People in leadership. I'm just gonna say people in leadership, because it
lay
does not
people
always
too.
come.
Yeah,
Exactly. Lay people. Are you supposed to? Because you supposed to be an intercessor, whatever. But it's like, I just feel that it really is a trick from the pit of hell. That if you're not careful, and if you're not rooted in the word, and if you do not have a strong foundation and a good relationship with God, any little thing will set you off and you will be out.
Yeah, that's true.
So you really have to sit back, and then, okay, yeah, you was hurt over here. It's just like you at a job. Okay, oh, they made you mad over here. The manager said the wrong thing to you over there. You don't just quit your job and then say, I'm not gonna get another job. You're gonna quit, and then you're gonna go find you another job with some more crazy folks. So it's like, okay, so if it's really about the people that's there, are you seeking and asking God? Okay, I'm going too deep. But are you seeking and asking God about another ministry that you need to go to? Because you still need the word. You still need to have somebody over you. You need to have a covering over you. Okay, I'm done with that.
No, I think, you bring valid points, but to go back to what Tjuana and what Stefanie said, I think what this show is doing is, of course, we know it's a dramatization. What this show is doing is showing the ugly side of people.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the first lady, and she can sing heaven down, but she's nasty.
Exactly.
Most people don't see that, but you see the son and the other guy.
Yeah.
Michael Jai White's character from the other record label, her husband, all these people that are closer, Tamar's little role, all these people can see you done got down there in the glory cloud, then came over the church. But when you get off that stage, you nasty.
Yeah.
And there are some people who are just like that. Let me tell you guys something. I'm not a first lady or anything like that. I'm a leader in my church. I am very aware of the influence that I have. So I make sure because people watch. They watch. If I get up there and release a prophetic word, people watch. Are you gonna speak? Are you gonna hug me? When this was pre-COVID, I will never forget it. We had to do like a youth ministry thing. And because I couldn't be in the kitchen to help serve the kids because I was working in the sanctuary, when it was over, I was washing dishes. People were like, why are you back here? I said, because I'm part of the youth ministry. No, you shouldn't have to wash dishes. Yes, I do. Don't give me the microphone and want me to preach, prophesy, pray, dance, and everything. But I can do that, but I can't wash no dishes.
You can't serve.
I lead by example. So I'm back here and I'm washing dishes and I'm helping clean up. I didn't help serve, so I'm helping clean, right? And so what they're highlighting is there is no humility like that.
Yeah.
They're gonna get up, they're gonna do what they gotta do, and they're gonna treat you bad. They're, you saw the first lady, how many Stellars, how many Doves, how many Grammys, it's all about that position. And you can tell that Kirk Franklin, because I know he's the overall producer. The other people, are co-producing. And really, you guys, like producer roles really is who kind of financed it, who put up the money and then wait. So like when you hear, so for example, when Denzel Washington wanted to direct his first movie, his name had the weight. So the movie company was like, Lionsgate was like, we're gonna back it because of Denzel's name, right?
Yeah.
So Kirk Franklin has a name. His name carries weight. Yeah. And so when he wanted to do this, he just didn't have all the money to put up for it. And Devon Franklin, of course, but they have a lot to do with the storyline. Now somebody else wrote it, but they have a lot to do with the storyline. And I totally agree. They wanted you to see, your pastor is up there preaching the gospel, but he got a drinking problem. He's not dealing with his own life. Like, no, they want to highlight these things. And it could be so many good and bad. They're human. They are human. They are human. But I just want them to highlight them, helping the homeless. I mean, doing some other things. I'm curious to see how this is going to go, because I think Yolanda Adams' character is going to get even darker.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's
Absolutely.
aging
And I
out
think
all
a
these
part of
issues.
yeah,
What you
a
say,
part
son?
of her character, I don't want to say a part of her character deserves to get darker, but it seems like her husband has another side and some more things going on
Man,
that
I
as
caught that.
that I think she insinuated initially, and then once we got to the end, it was like, oh, Pastor, okay. So I think some of her role is also by the hurt that she's experienced. So she's
Yes.
not just nasty just because, but some of her
Mhm.
nastiness comes from things that he made. Well, he clearly is doing, I don't know if we're at the end yet, but as we've seen at the end of the episode.
Yes. Yes. No, that's true. Because even when they were having a conversation as he was drinking his brown liquor at the house, she was throwing shade, like, why they always calling you at night? Why you always have to go out at night? I said, oh, is this some
That's letting you
infidelity
know.
going on up in there? I said, something with a P, something is not right. Something is not right about that. And it was like that type of hurt right there to me, where you can just talk about it like you throwing shade. We can't throw no shade like that. Not over here where I say we don't throw that type of shade. We don't throw that type of shade.
It's something that's deeper going on there. It's
exactly. And you could tell it's something that's being going on where you're like used to it. Yeah, I
I
caught
caught something else when
Mhm.
she said the church wasn't doing good financially.
Mhm.
Kingdom Records been pulling away, so then she has some entitlement there. Her father was the bishop.
Yeah, the Bishop Emeritus.
But he married her to be a bishop. All this, it's just a web of deceit.
Yeah.
It's deep. It's like it's some deeply rooted things on so many different angles. And so yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So random question. Who do y'all think shot Danny? Because I was trying to figure out why in the world would she grab the gun? Like the person
this.
sticks a gun.
You pulling that sucker towards you. And she's talking about you gonna threaten me?
Well, it's definitely somebody she knows and feels comfortable with. And
it was the bad acting too. Like it was a mixture.
You know what it reminded me of? That part. Do y'all remember the old show that used to come on? There was a church show with the girl Marquita in it years ago.
Don't say Awakening.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
That was girl.
It's the Awakening.
That scene reminded me of.
It was just horrible.
Because she hold it. Oh, you gonna, first of all, somebody pulls a gun out on you. First thing you're gonna do, I'm thinking, is this. Unless whoever this person is, she knows them like that. And it's like, oh, you gonna threaten me? And then, but you pulling the gun. You're doing this.
I think it's gonna be somebody connected with Kingdom Records or something, the church, something. It's gonna come out. I don't think it's gonna be random.
No, but do you remember at the beginning when she was at the strip club walking down the stairs, that guy was kind of like grabbing her? And
That's the boss. That's the boss.
Right. They showed that in the beginning for a reason, like she was in some type of trouble or
because she didn't want to talk for it. Right. You're right. You're right.
That she got in trouble because some girl said something, or they gave that girl the eye, like somebody said that I was this or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just feel like that's connected in some kind of way. Maybe not. I don't know, but we'll see.
Yeah. And then she set up the camera to catch her and the bishop. Like, I don't know how I zoomed past that, but when I watched it the second time around, I was like, wait, she set up this camera.
Exactly.
So did somebody tell her to do that? Or did she do that on her own?
Yeah. And another thing too, when Danielle was talking to Rebel, she was saying that I don't know what their boss's name was, but he was like making her do things she didn't want to do. Because what did she say? She said, do we not get to say no? And Rebel was like, yeah, we have every right to say no. She said,
Wow.
what is he trying to make you do? And it was like, like, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
See, that's when the writing is bad. Like, unless it's gonna come back around, make it make sense, right?
Right.
And then I think her name means something too, how they named her Rebel.
Yeah, and it's R Bell. It's
Mhm.
R'_BEL. It's like what
All
what-
of this
what
is digs against ministry and church and
Yeah.
like the lights and cameras of church, but this is real ministry. Like,
Yeah.
I just kept seeing that. I was
Yeah.
thinking about, how Yolanda Adams was talking to, Tamar, like just that manipulative,
Mhm.
it's just showing that there's a manipulation in ministry.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
So
If Rebel joins this church at the end, I'm gonna be upset.
me too.
I think she gonna join the church on the second episode. I think
Is she gonna do it in order to catch you? Like, is she working undercover?
Yeah, I think she's
Sleeping
gonna
with the pastor's son, maybe.
That's the thing. I think she's gonna end up calling the pastor's son, because remember they were at the club. That was another bad scene. Okay, so they're at the club. He comes in. Who does that? Who comes in with their phone? You asking the security guard where's she at, and they like, oh, she right there. That's how the security guards do. They do that like that. I ain't never been to no strip club, but that's what they do. They just point the girls out.
They might be like, who are you? What do you want with her? All kind of stuff.
Exactly. He literally said, oh, right here.
Not unless he was thinking, oh, she about to get some money. I don't know.
Exactly. But even like his whole approach to her, like, oh, you got a beautiful voice, and she giving him a whole lap dance. I said, okay, I'm done. Like, what?
That was very cringy.
Would you just stop dancing for 1 minute, please?
She wanted her money.
Look, and I didn't know if they had camera. I'm like, well, maybe they have camera. See, I'm coming up with my own thoughts. I'm like, well, maybe they got cameras. She can't just sit in there. She got to keep moving, or whatever. Because he's like, okay, stop. And she keep going. I'm like, okay, I'm confused. But when he dropped that card before she called the security, when he dropped that card or whatever, once it got towards the end, I'm like, yep, she gonna call him.
Because it made her start to think when he was really there for her. See, I mean, that's her job. You came to my job, right? So I'm doing my job. And so she wasn't expecting that. So he did something different that other people that came there didn't do. And I think that kind of was like, wait, he was for real,
Right. But did he mention who he was? Did he say like he was the son of the, like, did he even say who he was?
I don't remember if he did.
No, I think he said he was in A&R, but I don't think he ever said that was his father. But then also remember, he wasn't supposed to be there for his show. He was supposed to be there to bring her to Redeeming Records.
Right.
So you give her your card for a different record label, but your mama already said no. And you already told somebody else that you were going to bring him over there.
But I think, okay, so help me with this timeline. He told the mama about her first, right? And then she say almost like, I'm just paraphrasing, I brought you into this company and I can take you out.
Pretty much.
Then that's when he went over to Caesar over at Redeeming Records, right? So did he drop Redeeming Records card or did he drop his card?
It was his card.
He dropped his card.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So y'all help me understand, what's the relationship between Yolanda Adams and the other guy? Because did you see like when she was like, I'm gonna sing my music, and he was in the back looking mad, and she gave him a look. And I was like, what's happening? What's this?
I think that's the old boyfriend, and I also believe
he's clearly younger than her. What they playing this? No.
Which confused me when she made the comment. Yes, when she made the comment about the girlfriend being older, it was like, but Mama, you was out here in the streets too with her.
Right. That's probably why it bothers her, right?
Right. And I think maybe he kind of got her started because maybe remember when he was talking to I don't know if that was like his manager or whatever, and the manager, I'm just assuming that was his role. He was basically telling him that they got nominated for one. Was it a Stellar? What was the award that they?
I think it was
a Stellar.
It was some gospel music.
Yeah. Whereas Kingdom Records were nominated for 12, and he was upset. And he did make the statement that, oh, if she got nominated for this particular song, then I guess he needed some credit for it. So I don't know. Maybe I'm like, are they? Did they just break up? Like, what's going on? What'd you say, Tjuana?
But the kids are black.
Collaboration or something on that particular song.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I didn't understand that. I didn't understand.
Well,
and it got to be fresh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I didn't even know why he was at the church that night. Like nobody
randomly dropped by.
Why was he?
You know
why
what?
was he actually there?
Because that was a concert for her. Remember, she was doing back-to-back songs.
Mm-hmm.
That was a concert for her.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe if he heard, and then he walked out on a particular song. So maybe he wrote the song for her. Okay, I guess we'll find out in these other episodes. I was totally lost. I was totally lost.
The same with Larry Reed. Why was he there?
But she said that. She goes, Larry Reed, he's sniffing around for something. So she said that. Because he did a whole segment about looking for the girl.
Yes. Because even with that, when Danita or Yolanda Adams and Michael Beach, their characters, when they were having that conversation at the house, she said, I wanted to know why Larry Reed was there. She said, he's probably trying to find out if there are any scandals. Are there any scandals?
Right.
And I'm thinking, oh, what is going on? What you doing, Bishop? What is you doing?
But then he got up and he took a picture of her. Wait, say that again.
No, I said she's just not surprised by her. Nothing that her husband does.
Yeah,
surprising her. That's what it sounds like. Like she's
exactly.
Like, what you got next? Like, give it to me. What you got going on? Right. So.
They'll let you know he was a mess.
Exactly.
Pretty.
Exactly.
I'm sorry, Steph. I was talking when you was talking.
Oh, no, I was saying Larry Reed, when he got up and took that random picture of her son and the son's girlfriend.
He's right here. I said,
see, that's the bad acting. That's just so random.
And I'm like, Larry Reed, out of all people, he is the messiest.
But he happy he in this series.
Love. And he's actually going to be in 7 episodes. I'm
excited about the opportunities that these people get, but step up the acting just to make it a little bit more believable.
Yes.
It wasn't a good transition. It wasn't like a good flow. Like some parts.
No.
Y'all, what Awakening? It was like an upscale Awakening or a new age Awakening. It was okay, but it just didn't have like a really good like flow,
Right.
Even when she was at home, this is after Danielle passed, after they basically pronounced her dead at the hospital. She comes home, she's looking at her hands, she's shaking. Beautiful bathroom. I love that bathtub and a shower because the water had came from this way instead of that way. Anyway, so she's standing there and she's washing her hands, she's shaking, she's standing there letting the water come, and then here come the boyfriend. And then they sit in the shower together. I'm like, what is we doing?
What's funny about that? I was wondering when you said that about the blood. The first thing I thought about at the hospital, I was like, wait, how does she get blood on her face on this side? Then by the time she was in the shower, it was like on this side. I was like, oh, now you know what? I don't know why I thought about that.
Continuity wasn't doing their job. Continuity wasn't doing their job.
How did she get blood on this side of her face at the hospital when she was talking to the people? But then by the time she got home, it was like all over. I'm like, oh, wow, the girl was back there. Like, how did you? But okay.
In the hospital, they wouldn't encourage you to like wash your hands and stuff when you get there. Like, okay, you should let's wash your hands, let's clean your face.
Not if you out there in the emergency room, you sitting. I don't think they would.
But they'll let you just sit in the emergency room bloody.
I guess so. Being dirty and nasty. Yeah.
Yeah.
And did the parents not know who she was? The parents were all the way on the other
that they were in foster care, juvie or something.
how they met. But at the
Yeah.
funeral, they were looking at her like they really didn't know. When she walked up there to talk, yeah, they were looking to sing, whatever. They were looking at her like they didn't really know her.
Exactly.
Maybe they didn't know about who she was stripping with. That could be it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And her singing at the funeral is very reflective of Black funerals, that you are asked to do a particular task. They asked her for comments.
Exactly.
And she came up there with a full A selection with the choir background.
Right.
They did not ask her. Now she had made a transition of like, Danny wrote this song, or this is a song we used to sing together. It would make sense, but she said Danny really liked music. And then she just broke out in the song, and nobody had a problem with this.
No. And then CJ, the minister of music, the non-talking daughter or the non-speaking daughter, she telling the choir, come on, okay, was this a popular song? Like, how did they even know the words? Was this a popular song?
I'm done.
I don't know. Well, CJ's the daughter, she was Lucius Lyon's girlfriend on the last season of Empire. So
the daughter?
I'm gonna assume she's gonna sing. Yes,
she was. That's right.
Oh my God! But the song can sing too, because he and Yolanda were sitting there singing. I was really, because I was like, is he lip singing? It's like, oh no, he's singing for real too. Now I do like that. If y'all gonna sing, I'm gonna need y'all to sing for real. Rebel, I don't know where they get that voice from. It was not a good match. It was not good match.
The girl is an actual singer.
Why did they let her sing live or sing for real? That was not a good match.
Yeah, she's an actual singer. She tried to do, I think she had a few songs out, but she's an actual singer. So
yes.
So you guys, what will we rate this episode? Are we gonna let's do 1 being horrible and 10 being the best, since we have 8 episodes. So what do we say about the premiere episode? I'm gonna start with you, Tjuana. What do you give it?
I will be a 5.
You give it a 5?
Yeah, I give it a 5. Only because it was the first one didn't have me fully engaged. By the time it ended, I was like, okay, I can watch the second one, but it wasn't like something like, oh, I need to record this. I want to I want to watch it again. It was just kind of like, it was okay. And a lot of it was for the reasons that you named, Irene. It's a Black cast, the producers, that type of stuff. I love to see that type of stuff, right? And some of the storylines, but they were like pretty basic. It wasn't anything like, okay, because I'm in my head all day. I think a lot, right? So it didn't make me think about something outside the box. I was like, yeah, I can see how that could happen. I can see it. It's a 5 for me. Sorry.
Yeah.
5. Okay. So you kind of 50-50 on it right now. 50-50 stuff. Okay. What about you, Stephanie? 1 out of 10. What's your rating?
Okay, so I'm gonna grade on a curve.
Grade on a curve.
And I would give it a 3 on a curve.
Oh,
girl. What's your girl?
Because I was at like a 4 or a 5, but every time they put in a random church saying, like they just put it on in there, and it didn't really go with what was going on, or like the random Bible verse at any point of time, it was like, yeah, I gotta take a Church people are not churchy all the time.
Right, exactly.
We don't relate everything to the Bible all the time. So
exactly.
Yeah, I'm gonna say a 3 on the curve. But I'll watch the next episode because I do need to know what's coming next.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No.
I want to hear your opinion about the next episode. So I'm gonna look forward to that. So what do you think, Sharon? What's your rating? 1 out of 10?
I think I'll give it maybe a 4.5, 5. Like I said at the beginning, the acting was subpar. Not good acting at all. I did at one point want to line all of them up in a straight line, just slap everybody. But it's not going to keep me from not watching it.
Oh.
I am encouraged. I do want to continue to watch it, especially I want to say that last scene, even though it really had nothing to do with anything, when Rebel was actually watching that video after she found that flash drive in Danielle's locker. And she saw what she saw as far as with the good bishop, Danielle and the good bishop. I'm like, okay, where are we going with this? So that makes me want to come back and actually watch another episode or whatever. But it's just for the drama. I ain't gonna even lie. It's for the drama. It's not for the acting. It's for the drama.
Right. I think I'm around the same. I would say 5.5, and the half is literally for Yolanda Adams singing.
Yeah.
I think I'm a good solid 5.5. I think because it's not the first series of its kind. We've seen this with Sinners and Saints. We've seen this with Greenleaf. We've seen different shows like this before that is around, ministry. A lot of different shows, like even on like those random channels that's on cable. Like I just watched a show the other day about church, and so it's not a original concept, but what I do like is the idea that they have of a singer, a established singer, losing their, kind of falling from grace, and then a new singer coming on the scene. I kind of like that, and like you guys, I want to see what's going to happen, and I love seeing anything with Black people. I just need them to come up a little bit. And I don't know. I haven't seen the rest of the season. I'm gonna watch. Maybe the acting gets better. Maybe they were, hey, they gotta get chemistry. They gotta get, used to each other. But definitely, you guys, like you said, the acting is subpar. I did like the wardrobe. I thought the clothes. I looked at all of that, like the scenes and things like that. I do like that. I see other celebrities like getting chance. Like I was surprised to see Tamar in there. I like kind of seeing that. So I kind of that's giving it the extra half. For me, the things that I did like, but like you all said, I'm gonna continue to watch it, and I'm excited about us reviewing this series. And you guys, if you're watching this series with us, leave your comments below. Let us know what you think. So what else do you want to talk about with this, Kiran, before we sign off?
I would say this. Those of you all out there, those that are in church and those who may not be in church, when you watch this, take your church glasses off. Don't go in comparing this to everyday church. That's how I look at it. That's how I watch Greenleaf. You gotta take the church glasses off, set them over to the side, and go in and just watch this as just being just a regular drama on TV. That's it. Do not compare this to everyday church or the current church where you may be at. See, I knew they was like that. I knew that's how they was up in that church. Don't do that. This is TV. This is not reality. So just don't compare it. Don't let this be your determination on if you're going to go to church. That's what I want to say.
Tjuana, any last words?
I would just say that a good movie for me brings me into their world.
Yeah.
And this didn't do it. So I'm just hopeful that as we continue to watch it, that it kind of, bring me, I don't want to be over here. I'm watching that because I want to be out of here and over there. And so I hope that the next ones kind of take me there to kind of help me see it differently. That's all.
Yeah.
Stephanie, any last words?
To whoever is going to create the next church show, we oftentimes focus on the preacher and the choir. Let's focus on the usher board the next time and the mother's board. Like, give me a different view of the church. There are more people in there. So let's do something different next time.
Exactly.
Yes. Well, these reviews will be posted each week. So we want you to come back, like, subscribe, comment, let us know your thoughts down below.
Yes.
So until next week, we'll see you later, besties. Bye.
Bye, besties.
Thanks for joining us today. See you next time.